Today I'm going to share everything I know about creatine, and yes, I've supplemented with creatine myself, so I know firsthand what it does and doesn't do to the body. The main highlights of this video are the benefits and side effects of taking creatine. Creatine is naturally found in the body. It's an amino acid that provides energy to the body, particularly to the muscles. Although creatine occurs naturally in the body, it produces only a small amount of this amino acid. This is where creatine supplements play an important role. So, how does creatine actually improve athletic performance, and what are the effects such as weight gain and digestive issues? To find out how true they are, keep watching until the end, and I'll share with you other important information I've learned about creatine. The science behind creatine. Creatine is found throughout the body, with 95% stored in muscle cells. Most people obtain creatine through dietary sources like red meat and seafood. The primary use of creatine in the body is for energy, and the more energy you have, the better your athletic performance, which in turn leads to muscle growth. However, even with creatine levels from food and the body combined, they are not sufficient to maximize the full potential of this compound. That's why many people choose to increase their creatine orally. Additionally, others take creatine to improve symptoms of certain health conditions such as heart disease and muscular dystrophy, which I'll detail shortly. For now, let's outline the key benefits of taking creatine supplements. Top benefits of creatine. Number 1. Improved athletic performance. According to preliminary studies, creatine supplements enhance strength and lean muscle mass during weightlifting and other high-intensity exercises. In the same studies, it was reported that positive results were experienced mainly by young individuals. Researchers around 20 years of age deduced that creatine intake allowed more efficient use of fuel during exercise and aided in muscle development. Besides high-intensity exercises, creatine is also one of the best supplements for strength and power-based movements. This is because ATP energy from adenosine triphosphate is crucial for such exercises. A 6-week training period found that creatine intake helped increase weight by 5% for a 1-rep maximum bicep curl. Additionally, a weight training study concluded that creatine improved maximum squat and bench press strength. As for creatine for endurance sports, there's less benefit, as endurance exercises are low intensity and require less rapid ATP energy for regeneration. That said, there's still a potential benefit of creatine, and that is the ability to enhance your training sessions, which, in the long run, can improve endurance performance. Something lean guys always aim for is getting bigger. If you feel the same, then one more reason to investigate creatine. Here's why. Number 2. Increased body mass. Increased creatine content in muscles has been associated with greater body mass, and no, this isn't because creatine builds muscles. Instead, it's because creatine causes muscles to retain water, also known as water retention. In fact, it's not uncommon to gain 2 to 5 pounds during the first week of creatine supplementation. The water retained by muscle cells isn't necessarily bad. One thing, your muscles aren't growing yet, but increased water is essential for future muscle growth. Additionally, otherwise, creatine increases body weight due to increased muscle mass. This supplement is highly effective in increasing strength and endurance, allowing you to train longer and thus helping you build more muscle. Muscle is denser than fat, which means putting even just a small amount of muscle while losing fat is monumental enough to cause the scale to rise as you put it on. Muscles and lose fat. Your body becomes leaner and water weight becomes less noticeable. The conclusion here is that yes, creatine causes weight gain. However, the added pounds are in muscle, so you can stop worrying now. Number 3. Repairs damage. After research on injuries also suggests that creatine supplementation may help prevent damage and improve an athlete's recovery process after experiencing an injury. Additionally, creatine can act as an antioxidant after an intense session of resistance training. This can then help reduce cramping. It can also contribute to the rehabilitation of brain injuries and others. Moreover, of these 3 fitness-related benefits of creatine, 2 of which I have experienced. There are also other potential health benefits associated with creatine intake, one of which is improving muscular dystrophy, but more on that is to come. Plus other possible uses of creatine. Number 1. Creatine deficiency syndromes. It's a natural substance that plays a role in various body functions. For example, an average young man weighing 70 kilograms has creatine stored about 120 to 140 grams. The amount differs depending on your muscle, mass, and type of muscle fiber. Creatine deficiency is associated with a wide range of chronic obstructive conditions: COPD, depression, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, MS, muscle wasting, fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis. While creatine supplements may provide relief, more evidence is still needed to prove its truly effective treatment for most of these conditions. Increasing creatine in the brain through supplements may, however, help alleviate symptoms of autism, seizures, and movement disorders, reducing the risk of heart problems. Disease is another possible benefit of taking creatine. Number 2. If you have high concentrations of triglycerides or fats in the blood, consider taking creatine supplements. Based on studies involving people with heart failure who took creatine along with standard medical care, they were able to exercise longer before becoming tired. In another study with 20 people with heart failure, it was found that short-term creatine intake, along with standard medication, helped increase their body weight and muscle strength. Creatine has also been reported to help reduce homocysteine, an amino acid that when elevated can contribute to heart disease, including heart attack and stroke. Number 3. Muscular dystrophy. In many cases, those with muscular dystrophy have fewer reserves of creatine, which may be associated with muscle weakness. According to a study conducted, creatine led to a slight increase in muscle strength compared to those who did not take the supplement. Brief and medium-term treatment with creatine in people with muscular dystrophies is fine. Received studies show that taking creatine daily for 8 to 16 weeks can help increase muscle strength and reduce fatigue caused by muscular dystrophy. On the other hand, it's worth noting that not all studies have reached the same conclusion. Speaking of muscle-related symptoms, there's another disease that's characterized by such, and hence creatine benefits. It's none other than number 4, Parkinson's disease, a common disease. A symptom of Parkinson's disease is decreased muscle fitness. This means low muscle mass and muscle strength and increased fatigue. Based on a study, people with PD who took creatine were able to improve their exercise capacity and endurance. In a different study, creatine supplements boosted the mood of participants and reduced their need for medication compared to those who did not take the supplement. Now that I've discussed the good things about creatine, it's time to delve into the unpleasant side of it. Just so you know what you're getting into before you fully commit to creatine supplementation, here's nothing but the side effects of creatine. First off, let me just say that creatine is a relatively safe supplement. That said, there have also been reports of creatine causing some side effects. Because of these possible side effects, it's best to take creatine under the supervision of a healthcare provider. The aforementioned adverse effects are as follows: muscle cramps, muscle strains, and stomach strains, upset stomach, diarrhea, dizziness, high blood pressure. Personally, I haven't experienced these things. I had a mild case of stomach ache once or twice, but only in the beginning. It's also important to note that some of these conditions may be due to excessive consumption of certain vitamins. For example, taking too much vitamin C can cause diarrhea. Additionally, if there were any major negative effects, they would be all over the internet and news. Have you tried creatine yet? If so, then have you felt any of these side effects? Comment your responses below. But to be safe, I recommend that you only take creatine if you're a healthy adult and have no kidney issues. Also, only purchase creatine supplements from reputable manufacturers. As you've learned that creatine is a natural compound produced by the body, and so is your testosterone. Both are essential components for muscle growth. Therefore, besides increasing your creatine, you should also be doing the same for your T levels. More on that coming soon. Dosing the amount of creatine you take is of paramount importance to reap the maximum benefits. The body naturally creates about 1 to 2 grams of creatine every day, but that's far from the ideal dosage needed for muscle building. According to the International Society of Sports Nutrition, the safe dosing scheme for creatine monohydrate is loading dose. Start with 0.3 grams per kilogram of body weight per day for 5 to 7 days, divided into 4 doses throughout the day. The following maintenance dose is 3 to 5 grams per day. After that, for up to 5 years of bonus content for those who stick around till the end of the video, here's the promised additional information everyone should know about frequently asked common questions about creatine supplementation. Number 1. What's the best type of creatine supplement? Supplements, in general, vary in form, with some being of better quality than others. For creatine, I strongly recommend taking creatine monohydrate. There are tons of other supplements that will try to lure you in liking them, but many of them are mainly made of junk. Pre-workout supplements are a classic example of this junk. They advertise containing creatine and such, when in fact, many of them don't even have the minimum value of nutrients promised to produce results. Thus, powder is your best option. It's affordable and you can mix it with other healthy foods and beverages. Number 2. What are the best natural sources of creatine? Just as the human body produces creatine, this compound is also naturally found in some foods. Popular choices are pork, herring, and salmon. 1 pound of raw pork or salmon has 1 to 2 grams of creatine. Some people avoid creatine because of anecdotal reports of kidney damage and liver problems. Is that really the case? Find out the truth here. Number 3. Does creatine affect the kidneys and liver? Creatine can slightly increase creatinine levels, and blood creatinine is a common marker in diagnosing kidney or liver diseases. However, it's also a fact that elevated creatinine levels do not translate to a danger to the liver or creatinine. From the Baby is one of the most researched and studied sports supplements, and today no study of the creatine used in healthy individuals has been proven to harm both organs. That said, if you have a history of liver or kidney problems, take creatine supplements with caution. Better yet, ask your doctor how to proceed. Now that we've shared valuable information about the benefits of creatine, don't forget that there's much more to explore in the universe of physical and mental well-being. If you want to continue receiving insights, tips, and guidance on how to optimize your performance and promote a healthy lifestyle, don't miss the upcoming videos from our YouTube channel. Subscribe now so you don't miss any updates and be part of our community dedicated to caring for body and mind. We look forward to having you with us on this journey of health and well-being. Until then,